Corinthians 10:13. For no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. For God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it.
And David numbered all the people with him. He placed over them commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds. And David sent away the people, a third under the hand of Joab, another third under the hand of Abishai, son of Zeruiah, brother of Joab, and the other third under the hand of Ittai, the Gittite. And the king said to the people, In going forth, I shall go forth, even indeed I myself with you. The people said, You shall not go forth, for if we should flee into exile, they shall not put us to heart. If half of us should die, they shall not put us to heart. For you are as of us 10,000. Now it is good that you will be with us in the city of our helper. The king said to them, The pleasing thing before you I will do. And the king stood by the side of the gate, and all the people went forth by hundreds and by thousands. The king gave charge to Joab and to Abishai and to Ittai, saying, Spare for me the young man Absalom. And all the people heard the king giving charge to all the rulers concerning Absalom. All the people went forth into the field for meeting Israel, and the battle happened in the grove of Ephraim. The people of Israel failed there before the children of David, and there became a great devastation in that day, 20,000 men. And it came to pass there the war dispersed over the face of all the land, and the forest was superabundant in devouring of the people above what the sword devoured among the people in that day. Absalom met before the servants of David, and Absalom was mounted upon the mule. The mule was entering unto the thicket of the great oak, and his head was twisted in the oak. He hung between the heavens and between the earth, and the mule underneath him went on. One man saw it, and announced to Joab, and said, Behold, I have seen Absalom hanging in the oak. Joab said to the man announcing to him, Behold, you saw it? And was it that you did not strike him there to the ground? I would have given to you 10 shekels of silver and 1 sash. And the man said to Joab, If you rendered unto my hands 1,000 shekels of silver, in no way would I put my hand against the son of the king. For in our ears the kings gave charge to you, and to Abishai, and to Ittai, saying, Guard for me the young man Absalom, to do not do anything injuries and unjust against his life. All the matter will not be kept unaware from the king. You shall set yourself right opposite me. And Joab said, This I begin, not thus shall I abide before you. Joab took 3 arrows in his hand. He struck them in the heart of Absalom, while yet he was living in the heart of the oak. And there encircled 10 young men, lifting the weapons of Joab, and they struck Absalom and killed him. And Joab trumpeted with the trumpet, and the people returned to not pursue after Israel, for Joab spared the people. Joab took Absalom, and he tossed him into the great chasm in the grove, into the great pit. They set over him a heap of exceedingly great stones, and all Israel fled to his tent. Absalom, while still living, took and set for himself a monument in the valley of the king. For he said, There is not to me a son, calling to mind my name. And he called the monument by his name, and he named it Hand of Absalom unto this day. Ahimaaz, son of Zadok, said, Running indeed, I will announce the good news to the king, that the Lord passed judgment to him on the hand of his enemies. And Joab said to him, You are not a man of good news in this day, but you shall announce good news at another day. In this day you shall not announce the good news, for the son of the king has died. Joab said to Cushai, Go and announce to the king what you have seen. Cushai did obeisance to Joab, and he ran. Ahimaaz, son of Zadok, added still, and he said to Joab also, Let it be that I run also indeed myself after Cushai. Joab said, Why do you run, my young one? There is not good news to you for benefit in going. And Ahimaaz said, For what if I shall run? Joab said to him, Well, run. Ahimaaz ran by the way of Kechar, and he surpassed Cushai. David was sitting between the 2 gates, and the watchman went unto the roof of the gatehouse, unto the wall. He lifted his eyes and saw, behold, there was a man running alone before him. The watchman yelled out and reported to the king. And the king said, If he is alone, good news is in his mouth. He went along, coming and approaching. The watchman saw another man running. The watchman yelled out at the gate, said, Behold, another man is running alone. The king said, Also this one is announcing good news. The watchman said, I see the racing of the first as the racing of Ahimaaz, son of Zadok. The king said, This is the good news. Indeed, for good news he shall come. Ahimaaz yelled and said to the king, Peace. He did obeisance to the king upon his face, upon the ground. He said, Blessed be the Lord your God, who shut up the men, whose the lifting of their hands against my master the king. The king said, Is there peace to the young man Absalom? And Ahimaaz said, I saw the great multitude being gladdened in the sending Joab the servant of the king and your servant. I do not know what happened there. The king said, Well, turn aside and stand by here. He turned aside and he stood, and behold, Cushai came. Cushai said to the king, Let there be good news announced, O my master the king, for the Lord passed judgment for you today of the hand of all the ones rousing against you. And the king said to Cushai, How is the peace to the young man Absalom? And the Cushai said, Let be as that young man the enemies of my master the king, all as many as rise up against you for evils. But the king was disturbed. He ascended into the upper room of the gate, and he wept. And so he said as he wept, O my son Absalom, O my son Absalom, what that I couldn't give my death for you, I instead of you, Absalom, O my son, O my son. To Joab, saying, Behold, the king weeps and mourns over Absalom. And the deliverance in that day became for mourning to all the people. For the people heard in that day, saying that the king frets for his son. And the people stole away in that day to enter into the city, as people steal away, being shamed in their fleeting in the battle. The king entered to hid his face, and the king cried out with a great voice, saying, O my son Absalom, Absalom my son. Joab entered to the king into the house, and said, You disgraced today the faces of all your servants, of the ones delivering your life today, and the lives of your sons and of your daughters, and the lives of your wives, and the life of your concubines, to love the ones detesting you, and to detest the ones loving you, that you identify today that your rulers are nothing to you, nor your servants. For I know that Absalom, if he were alive today, even all we had died, that then it would have been pleasing before you. Now arise, go forth and speak unto the heart of your servants. For by the Lord I swear by an oath that unless you should go forth, in no way should a man remain with you this night. And realizing this in yourself, that this evil will be upon you over all the evils coming upon you from your youth until now. The king rose up, and he sat at the gate. All the people announced, saying, Behold, the king sits down at the gate. And all the people came before the king. Israel fled each to his tent. And all the people were arguing among all the tribes of Israel, saying, King David rescued us from the hand of all our enemies, and he delivered us from the hand of the Philistines. Now he fled from the land. Absalom, whom we anointed over us, died in the war. Now why are you silent to return the king? And the saying by all Israel came to the king. King David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, saying, Speak to the elders of Judah, saying, Why have you become last to return the king to his house? And the word of all Israel came to the king. You are my brethren, of my bones and of my flesh. Why have you become for the last ones to return the king to his house? And to Amasa you shall say, Are you not of my bone and of my flesh? And now thus may God do to me, and thus add more, if you shall not be ruler of the force before me all the days instead of Joab. He leaned the heart of every man of Judah as one man. And they sent to the king, saying, You return, and all your servants. The king returned, came unto the Jordan, and the men of Judah came to Gilgal to go to meet the king, to cause the king to pass over the Jordan. Shimei, son of Gera, son of the Benjamite, from Bahurim, hastened. He went down with the men of Judah to meet King David. There was 1,000 men with him from Benjamin, and Ziba, the house of the servant of Saul, and his set 15 sons and 20 daughters with him. They went straight unto the Jordan before the king. He passed over the ford to arouse the household of the king, and to do the upright thing in his eyes. Shimei, son of Gera, fell upon his face before the king at his passing of the Jordan. He said to the king, Let not indeed my master consider my lawlessness, and remember not as much as your servant did wrong in the day which my master the king went forth from Jerusalem, for the king to put it upon his heart. For your servant knows that I have sinned. Behold, I have come today first of all of the house of Joseph, to go down myself for the meeting of my master the king. And Abishai, son of Zeruiah, answered, and he said, For this should not Shimei be put to death, for he cursed the anointed one of the Lord. But David said, What is it to me and to you, sons of Zeruiah, that you be come to me today to plot? Shall today any man of Israel be put to death? No, I do not know that today I shall reign over Israel. The king said to Shimei, You shall not die. The king swore by an oath to him. And Mephibosheth, son of Jonathan, son of Saul, went down for a meeting with the king, and attended not to his feet, nor prepared his mustache. His garments he did not wash from the day which the king went forth until the day which he came in peace. And it came to pass, when he entered into Jerusalem for a meeting with the king, that the king said to him, Why is it that you did not go with me, Mephibosheth? And Mephibosheth said to him, O my master, O king, my servant misled me, for your servant said to me, Saddle for me the donkey, for I shall mount upon it and go with the king, for your servant is lame. He used craft with your servant against my master the king, but my master the king is as a messenger of God, and you do what is good in your eyes. For there was not any to the house of my father, but only men for death to the master my king. and you put your servant to eat at your table. What reason is there to me still, even to cry out still to the king?" The king said to him, "Why do you still speak your words? I said, you and Ziba divide the field." And Mephibosheth said to the king, "Let him take all the things after the coming of my master the king in peace to his house." And Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Rogelim, passed over the Jordan with the king, to send him forward from the Jordan. And Barzillai was an exceedingly old man, a son of 80 years. He nourished the king during his living in Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. The king said to Barzillai, "You shall pass over with me. I will nourish your old age with me in Jerusalem." And Barzillai said to the king, "How many are the days of years of my life that I should ascend with the king unto Jerusalem? I am today a son of 80 years. Can I know between good and between bad? Shall you serve still, taste what I shall eat or shall drink? No. What shall I hear still a voice of singing men and singing women? No. Then why should your servant be a load upon my master the king? Your servant shall pass over the Jordan a little with the king. And why does my king, my master, recompense to me this recompense? Return indeed your servant. I shall die in my city by the burying place of my father and of my mother. Behold, your servant Shimham, my son, shall pass over with my master the king. You shall do for him the pleasing thing before you." The king said, "Let Shimham pass over with me, and I will do to him the pleasing thing before you. Whatever you should give order to me, I will do for you." All the people passed over the Jordan, and the king was established. And the king kissed Barzillai, blessed him, and he returned to his people. The king passed over into Gilgal, and Shimham passed over with him. And all the people of Judah caused him to pass over, and half of the people of Israel. Behold, every man of Israel came to the king. They said to the king, "Why is it that our brethren, the men of Judah, stole you, and caused the king and his household to pass over the Jordan, and all of the men of David with him?" And the men of Judah answered to the men of Israel, and said, "Because the king is a near relative to us. Why is this you are enraged on account of this matter? Or in eating have we eaten any food from the king, or have given gifts to us?" And the men of Israel answered to the men of Judah, and said, "There are 10 hands to me for the king, but also indeed in David I am over you. Why is it that you insult me? It was not my first word to return the king to me." And the saying of the men of Judah was hardened above the sayings of the men of Israel. "Deliver me from my enemies, O my God, and protect me from those who rise up against me. Deliver me from those who work evil, and save me from bloodthirsty men. For behold, they lie in wait for my life. Fierce men stir up strife against me. No transgression or sin of mine, O Lord, for no fault of mine they run and make ready. Awake and come to meet me, and see. You, Lord God of hosts, are God of Israel. Rouse yourself to punish all the nations. Spare none of those who treacherously plot evils. Each evening they come back howling like dogs and prowling about the city. There they are, bellowing with their mouths, with swords in their lips. For who, they think, will hear us? But you, O Lord, laugh at them. You hold all the nations in derision. O my strength, I will watch for you. For you, O God, are my fortress, and my God in his steadfast love will meet me. For God will let me look in triumph on my enemies. Kill them not, lest my people forget. Make them totter by your power, and bring them down. Lord, our shield, for the sin of their mouths, the words of their lips, let them be trapped in their pride. For the cursing and the lies that they utter, consume them in wrath, and consume them till they are no more, that they may know that God rules over Jacob to the ends of the earth. Each evening they come back howling like dogs, and prowling about the city. They wander about for food, and growl if they do not get their fill. But I will sing of your strength, and I will sing aloud of your steadfast love in the mornings. For you have been to me a fortress, and a refuge in the day of my distress. O my strength, I will sing praises to you. For you, O God, are my fortress, the God who shows me steadfast love. O God, you have rejected us and broken our defenses. You have been angry. O restore us, for you have made the land to quake, and you have torn it open. Repair its breaches, for it totters. You have made your people see hard things. You have given us wine to drink that made us stagger. You have set up a banner for those who fear you, that they may flee to it from the bow, that your beloved ones may be delivered. Give salvation by your right hand and answer us. God has spoken in his holiness. With exaltation I will divide up Shechem and portion out the vale of Succoth. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine, Ephraim is my helmet, Judah my scepter, Moab is my wash basin, and upon Edom I cast my shoe. Over Philistia I shout in triumph. Who will bring me to the fortified city? Who will lead me to Edom? Have you not rejected us, O God? You do not go forth, O God, with our armies. Grant us help against the foe, for vain is the salvation of man. With God we shall do valiantly. It is he who will tread down our foes. Hear my cry, O God, and listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you, and when my heart is faint. For lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Let me dwell in your tent forever, and let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the king. May his years endure to all generations. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day.
O sons, you should not be jealous of evil men, nor should you desire to be with them. For their heart meditates on lying, and their lips speak of miseries. For a house is built with wisdom, and is erected with skillfulness. With good sense, the storerooms are filled up with all the valuable and good wealth. A wise man is better than a strong man, a man of intelligence than one having a great farm. War takes place with guidance, but help comes with the heart of a counselor. Wisdom and good insight are in the gates of the wise. The wise do not turn aside from the law of the Lord, but consider things in the Sanhedrins. But the uninstructed ones meet with their death. The fool dies in sins, and uncleanness to a pestilent man. He shall be contaminated in the evil day, and in the day of affliction, until whenever he should cease. Rescue the ones being led unto death. Buy off the ones for slaying. You should not spare. But if you should say, I do not know this, know that the Lord knows the heart of all, even the one shaping the breath in all. He knows all things. He is the one who renders to each according to his works. Eat honey, O son, for the honeycomb is good, that your throat should be sweetened. For thus you shall perceive wisdom in your soul. For if you should find it, your decease will be good, and hope shall not forsake you. You shall not lead the impious to the pasture of the just, nor should you be deceived in filling the belly. For 7 times the just shall fall, and rise up, but the impious will weaken in evils. If your enemy should fail, you should not rejoice over him, and in his fall you shall not be lifted up. For the Lord shall see it, and it will not please him. He will return his rage upon him. Do not rejoice over ones doing evils, nor be jealous of sinners. For in no way shall there be a progeny of wicked ones, and the torch of the impious shall be extinguished. Fear God, O son, and the king, and to neither one of them should you resist persuasion. For suddenly they will pay the impious, and the punishment of both, who shall know? But these things I say to you, to the wise, to realize that to stand in awe of a person in a judgment is not good. The one having said, the impious is just, will be accursed among the peoples, and detested among the nations. But the ones reproving shall appear the best, and a good blessing shall come upon them. The lips shall kiss the ones answering with good words. Prepare your works for the departure, and make preparations for the field, and go after me. You shall rebuild your house. Do not be a lying witness against your fellow countrymen, nor open wide your lips. You should not say, in which manner he treated me, I shall treat him, and I shall pay him who wronged me. But a foolish man is as a farm, and a man lacking of sense is as a vineyard. If you should let it go barren, then it shall become entirely overgrown, and failing takes place, and its fences of stones shall be raised. Afterwards I changed my mind. I looked to choose instruction. I slumber a little, I sleep soundly a little, I fold my hands to my breast a little. But if you should do this, poverty shall come before you, and lack is a good number. Hebrews 12:1 and 2. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with such a great cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight, and the sin which doth so easily beset us. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. It was not the power of Rome that helped Jesus on the cross. It was not the nails that kept him on the tree. He endured the physical anguish of the crucifixion and the spiritual anguish of the weight of our sin, not because he was forced to do so, but because of his great love for us. Jesus said, "Therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life that I might take it again. For no man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father." The path Jesus took to purchase our salvation was not an easy one. He did not escape pain and heartbreak and anguish. He did endure the cross, going through all of that because it was worth it. When we are faced with trials and challenges, it is crucial for us to not forget the reason for what we are enduring, and to turn to God for help. Horatius Bonar wrote, "The road to the kingdom is not so pleasant and comfortable, not so easy and flowery as many dream. It is not a bright sunny avenue of palms. It is not paved with triumph, though it is to end in victory. The termination is glory, honor, and immortality. But on the way there is the thorn in the flesh, the sackcloth, the cross, recompense later, but labor here, rest later, but weariness here, joy and security later, but here, endurance and much watchfulness, the race, the battle, the burden, the stumbling rock, and oftentimes even the heavy heart. For God does not promise us an easy life, but he does promise grace and strength for us to endure whatever comes.
This opens the door to my presence. Though I am always with you, I have gone to great measures to preserve your freedom of choice. I have placed a door between you and me, and I have empowered you to open or close that door. For there are many ways to open it, but a grateful heart is one of the most effective. Thankfulness is built on a substructure of trust, and when thankful words stick in your throat, you need to check up on your foundation of trust. When thankfulness flows freely from your heart and your lips, then let your gratitude draw you closer to me. I want you to learn the art of giving thanks in all circumstances. See how many times you can thank me daily. This will awaken your awareness to a multitude of blessings. It will also cushion the impact of trials when they come against you. Practice my presence by practicing the discipline of thankfulnul. Psalm 100:4. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and praise his name. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Amen.